What is up, guys? We are back in the building. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if the visuals are all good. We did some changes on our technology that we are using. That way, there's less lag. My words are not dragging behind my lips when I'm talking. Um, and I need you all to tell me if everything is sounding good, if everything is sounding Gucci. So you have the best viewing and listening experience possible. I don't know if you guys know this, but yours truly was invited last night to a Destiny event. If you don't know Destiny, he is a liberal leftist, radical leftist, in my opinion. I was invited to his event in LA yesterday. Did not plan on debating him, actually. But I was invited to come up on stage because everyone else who debated Destiny wasn't good. And all of the people were pretty much just people who agreed with him, which you're gonna get that in LA. And so I'm sitting there, I'm rocking out with my Trump was right about everything shirt and my 1924 hat. And I'm just back there watching these liberal kids talk to their idol and just basically act like a bunch of fanboys and girls for Destiny and not really challenge this guy on everything. Guys, listen to me. When I say that what the people want is good spirited debate, when I say people don't want a circle jerk, when I say people want to see, you know, great minds spar over things that they feel strongly about, that is exactly what the people want. All this kumbaya stuff intellectually, no. We want to spar and fight intellectually so we don't have to spar and fight physically. Now people are saying, people are asking me, did he cook me? And and let me tell you, your boy does not get cooked. Your boy does not get cooked ever, especially not by some radical leftist. We standing on business over here. We are standing on business over here. I don't say it unless I believe it wholeheartedly. I ain't up here just saying stuff to get a view and a click. I'm doing this thing because it's coming from the heart, right? It's coming from the heart. And what I want to do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys a clip from, because y'all rock with your boy, been rocking with me. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna give you a clip because what happened is I was actually maybe like the fourth or fifth person to go, but our little debate was so good. They edited it, and they moved that to the front of the video. Because I'm gonna be real, the beginning was a snore fest. They moved this to the front. They actually put your boy on the thumbnail. Go figure. They put your boy on the thumbnail. So we'll watch this little 1 minute clip, and you tell me if you feel like I got cooked.
First time, crashes his car, gets his girlfriend pregnant, whatever stuff. Because man, their kids are dumb. They make dumb mistakes. They do that. It'll happen. There's no way. Part of the learning experience is making those mistakes and being crazy and being cringe, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's not stupid. He was that age at one point, and he created $1 billion company. The more access you have to information, the less ignorant you are of what's going on. I could see the college kid, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off or something, like back in those days. Yeah, you kind of were expected to be a little bit dumb and gullible, but now people have information. They have answers to things at the touch of a button. I don't think they're as ignorant or as stupid as we would like them to be.
But I mean, like,
I think the Democrats banked on that, and it like blew up in their face. And I think that's one of the hypocritical aspects of the far left, is that they expect everyone to be so dumb that they don't actually think, about the issues that they're expected to go vote on. And they just take somebody like Maxine Waters' word for it, somebody like Kamala Harris. Like, I don't think Kamala Harris is smarter than the average 21-year-old college student, honestly.
I think
they can string a sentence together. She can't.
Kamala Harris, if she can't string a sentence together, I have no idea how much you're paying for Trump translations, because there's no way you can understand anything that guy's saying. But like, okay, but let me just back up one more time to this, and then we can move on to the next thing. Do you have any kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever have somebody who doesn't have kids try to tell you how to be a parent?
Here's the part where Destiny gets cooked. If you want to see a part where Destiny got cooked, this is where I literally cooked Destiny's whole argument.
Yeah. You ever have somebody who doesn't have kids try to tell you how to be a parent?
Here's the real question.
Yeah.
Do they?
No. Well, most of them probably don't. But I'm just saying that, like, no matter how smart somebody is, every parent's had that experience where somebody who doesn't have kids is there telling them, what to do. And it's not about them being smart or stupid or whatever. It's just they don't have the experience.
This is why your premise is totally bad faith, because your audience is a bunch of people who don't deal with the everyday struggles that you and I deal with. So you can talk. Hold on. You can talk to them. Listen, do you know how much I care about an illegal criminal alien immigrant when my daughter says, "Hey, Dad, I need $4,000 for club volleyball"? I'm like, I don't care about that. This is my issue that I have to deal with today. And when they have kids and they have to deal with paying for daycare, feeding those kids, providing a place for those kids to live, they're going to care a lot less about some guy in El Salvador getting due process when he's a criminal and he should be deported immediately.
It depends on what your lived experience is, though, right?
No.
Like when I was growing up, okay, there were family members of mine that were criminal illegal immigrants, because half of my family comes from Cuba. But now the difference is my mom loves the illegal immigrants from Cuba. She doesn't like the ones from South America or from Mexico.
Cubans traditionally hate illegals.
Well, once they're here, they do.
Of course, that's the way it's supposed to be.
I'm just saying, you can't say, you want to say Cubans hate illegals. They all wanted Elian Gonzalez to stay when he floated over.
He was legal.
No, he wasn't. They caught him. They were illegally immigrating. Wait. They were immigrating illegally.
Okay. But did he touch the soil?
So do asylum seekers.
No. You're being disingenuous. There was a law where Cuban immigrants.
Yes, we had a wet foot, dry foot. I understand.
So let what's his name? Elian Gonzalez. Hey, let him stay. I want him to stay because that was the law of the land. So that's the difference.
But we're not talking about just what the no. We're not talking about just what the law is. I'm just saying that people can have different.
We're not talking about the laws.
We're not talking about just what the law is.
Oh, just what the law is.
No.
Well, that's what I live my life based on.
Well, we can change the laws, right?
You can, so go vote. Stop complaining.
We can do both. I have a First Amendment and the right to vote. But I'm just saying it's interesting to give so much credence to Cuban immigrants, but not to people from Mexico or South America.
Don't love them as much.
Why?
Because the Cubans believe what I believe. And they
so do a lot of Mexican immigrants and everything too.
And I love those Mexican legal citizens.
Sure.
But as far as the illegal immigrants, ship them back.
Sure. Okay. That's
this is a very simple thing to understand.
Well, it's not as simple. It's a complicated conversation.
It's really not.
If it was so simple, then Trump wouldn't have failed miserably for his first 4 years, and we wouldn't go these 4 years without him also failing miserably. By the end of these 4 years, Trump will not have any immigration legislation, number one, and he won't deport more than 1 million or 2 million people, number two. I guarantee you by the end of these 4 years.
That's totally fine. So why are you guys using that as a political talking point?
If Trump you wanted to bring it to legal immigration, so that's what
you're actually afraid of is that wait, I want you guys to listen very carefully to this next part right here. What they're really afraid of, if you really want to know what the left is afraid of, what they are really afraid of, I'm about to cook him with this right here. This is what they're really afraid of, and I'm sending it back a little bit. What is the left really afraid of?
One, and he won't deport more than 1 million or 2 million people, number two. I guarantee you by the end of these 4 years.
That's totally fine. So why are you guys using that as a political talking point?
If you wanted to bring it to legal immigration, so that's what
you're actually afraid of is that what's going to happen is the same thing that happened with Kamala Harris during the campaign. Trump came up with a good idea that gained a lot of traction when it came to getting votes, and Kamala Harris jumped on it. No tax on tips. You're afraid that the Democrats will adopt Trump's policies because they are the policies that resonate with voters. So you have to take the college kids, the people with no real responsibility yet. I'm not trying to devalue you guys' experience. I'm just telling you, have you ever looked at a freaking mortgage that was like $5,000? Have you ever? Most people have not at this stage in their life.
People aren't voting all the time on wisdom.
Yeah.
I saw Republicans celebrating the fact that they were going to have a tax deduction on the interest rate that you pay on a car loan.
I saw you
None
guys
of these people have any idea what this even means, but they were celebrating it. So the idea that people have some nuanced understanding of tax brackets.
Republicans celebrate a tax on car loan. I saw you guys celebrate some dude getting shot in the neck and make a joke and laugh about it. Which one is worse?
I would say the.
All right. So basically, you guys can see how this was going, right? MAGA was dominating the room, the only MAGA in the building. I was 50% of the 2 black people who were in the room, and one of those dudes was a bum who wandered in. They are all about inclusivity and equality. There were no black people in the room, and they also charged people to get in. I told them, just go watch the debate. I brought up a bunch of great points that guy, bro, I cooked this guy. So, dude, I was like Thanos. If you look at the thumbnail, bro literally made me look like Thanos because that's how I came in that bitch slapping people around. I was like this or that. It is not hard to debate the left. It's just that they're going to overtalk you and word salad you to death until you lose interest. But me, baby, I'm built for it. I'm built for it. I'm built for it. But I was cooking, okay? Don't come with this, oh, you got beat. No. Your boy ate and left no crumbs. Your boy ate and left no crumbs. Don't look at me like that. Your boy ate and I'm getting hip. Your boy ate and left no crumbs. And honestly, respect to Stephen Destiny. He's a cool guy, honestly. But your boy ate and left no crumbs. But we have to get into our actual topic for today. I just gave you guys a 12-minute bonus because I had to let you know about that situation. And I'm gonna and what I do is I like to respect other content creators. I don't like to run and make clips about their stuff immediately. I want to see how good the video does. The main video does it when it gains traction, because I hope it gets like 100,000, 200,000 views. And then I will go and do my thing where I clip and break it down and just show y'all how your boy was cooking. Like I was not embarrassing y'all. I'm not going to embarrass y'all. If y'all want to see how that thumbnail looked, though, let me show you that. Hey, B Thanos was in the. Look at that. It's on the right hand side. Your boy B was looking like Thanos in that joint. Hold on. Your boy, look at that. Clearly, I did something. If they put your boy on the thumbnail. Clearly, I did something. If they put you on a boy on the thumbnail with the Thanos hand, all I needed was the Infinity Gauntlet, and it would have been it would have been the planets would have been in alignment, and we would have been on point. But I just want to let y'all know everything I do is for you, and I would never take that stage if I did not feel that I was qualified to match wits and spar with the best in the game. Understand, we might not get all the views, we might not have all the subscribers, but we damn sure got all the information, and we got the ability to disseminate that information effectively. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no lightweights, you know what I'm saying, over here. And I don't know what they thought this was. I don't know what they thought this was, but we coming for the title every time if they give us the opportunity. But so we got to get to this situation about these ICE raids in Chicago, where the black community of Chicago, black Chicagoans, effed around and found out as ICE performed raids in the black community of Chicago. Now, a bunch of people will say, oh man, see those black people. We tried to tell them. We tried to warn them. We told them that Trump wasn't no good and it was going to be them next. And I'm literally seeing people in the on social media saying, oh, we're just like the illegal immigrants. Black people are out here fighting the same struggle as illegal immigrants who came into this country illegally. And, we love that victim narrative, and we will find a way to play the victim no matter what. Now, ultimately, do ICE raids affect African Americans? No, they don't. Not even a little. But will we try to plant ourselves right in the middle of ICE and the El Salvadorian migrants just so we can so the ICE officer or agent can step on our toe and we can fall and holler racism? Of course we did. Of course we did. We will. Of course we will. That's what we do best. We are the front runner and the vanguard of victimization in America. We used to be the vanguard of political revolution in the world, but somehow they did a magic trick and we went from being revolutionaries to permanent professional victims, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So this is what the hot button issue is. And I want to tell you something, full disclosure. This is such a BS claim about black people being arrested in ICE raids, like being deported and detained and taken to ICE facilities. When I looked up black Americans arrested by ICE, African Americans arrested by ICE, black man being arrested by ICE in Chicago, I couldn't find a single image of anyone black being arrested by ICE officials in Chicago. So in order to make the thumbnail make sense, I had to pull images of black Hispanics, black Latinos being arrested in New York, right? I had to put that on the thumbnail just so I could have someone black being arrested by ICE. I'm going to be honest with you. But that just gives you an idea of how ridiculous this whole narrative is, so much so that they are literally having a circle jerk about this, about something that has never actually happened. So I want to play a little clip for y'all so that you guys can all see what they're talking about with ICE raiding this apartment complex in Chicago, where they tried to tell you that all these black people were arrested and little kids were being zip tied, because everyone's reporting this, but no one really can give you any footage of this stuff happening. That's the problem. They can't give you any footage of the abuse taking place. Now, we understand that there was a raid in a predominantly African-American neighborhood. We do understand that.
Dozens of federal agents surrounded an apartment building.
Understand that. But what happened? If you want to know what's going on with the black neighborhood being where the raids taking place in the black neighborhood, well, you need to go ask Brandon Johnson why he allowed thousands of illegal aliens into Chicago and then implanted them or embedded them into black communities. That's the person you should be blaming if you feel that black citizens are being abused by ICE. Your mayor, right? Your mayor took a bunch of illegal immigrants and he implanted them into the black community. Now, I'm going to let you watch a little clip from this lady, Park Rose Permaculture. This is a random YouTuber that I found, and I want to show you, because she's like doing her thing, reporting on this. She's reporting on something that she can't actually prove happened. Oh, children are zip tied, all this stuff, right? Okay, but look at the clips that she references to prove that point.
Without warrants, without identifying who these agents were, and they absolutely destroyed these people's homes and personal property. But it gets far worse than that.
They asked me, was I a U.S. citizen? I told them, yeah. I was born here. It was real tight. All right. And every time I moved, it would hurt.
Patricia Fisher says she was detained by federal agents this morning, claims she was held for hours in a van with other neighbors at 7500 South Shore Drive, while agents confirmed her identity, citizenship, and confirmed she had no active warrants. She describes the scene as she says children were also let out of the building.
no shoes. The kids that had no shirts or no pants on, they just treated us like we were nothing.
He said he had warrants for 5 people. I said, so why are you detaining the whole building? He says for the safety of our people.
Ebony Watson watched and filmed what she saw,
And all you see is this whole block full of budget rental cars.
showing a massive show of force and rental trucks used in this mission alongside ICE, FBI, and other federal agencies. The FBI called it a, quote, targeted immigration enforcement operation.
So let's make something clear here. Federal agents are claiming that they had warrants for 5 people. They raided an entire apartment complex, dragged people out, took American citizens, handcuffed them, and stuffed them into the back of rental trucks for hours and hours with no probable cause, no warrants for the agents' safety. Is this what we want to have normally?
100%. I don't know how many of you have ever been involved in a raid that takes place in a low income neighborhood where people live in what would you call it, high density housing, where it's a bunch of people living in apartment buildings. If they are going to perform a raid on people who are considered to be violent gang members from south of the border, yes, they will detain you, put you in a van, put you off to the side, because they don't know how those criminals that your mayor and your city council have placed among you are going to respond to the fact that ICE has come to arrest them and deport them. You don't know if there's going to be a shootout. You don't know if there's going to be a standoff. You don't know if they might be willing to take a hostage. These people, these immigrants that they have, they're not good people. A lot of them. A lot of these dudes are gang members from south of the border, who members of gangs that do all types of violent and heinous acts in the name of their gang. This woman is like, oh, they pulled the kids out, no shoes, no socks. Yeah, that tends to happen during a raid. They're not waiting for you to get your shoes on and all that. We need you out of the building because Pedro or Juan or Obi or Chidi, if it's a Nigerian or African immigrant, you don't know what they're willing to do to prevent ICE from taking them into custody. So we need all these kids out the way. If you don't understand this and you think this is like new, this is how it is done when the feds raid an apartment building. It's high density housing. It's not like they're kicking in the front door of your house. They have to go up staircases, stairwells. They have to go door to door to make sure people aren't hopping, across the fire escape out of their apartment into the next one. So this is pretty much par for the course. That's what's going on. So she's talking about, they're saying there was kids in zip ties and the kids were mistreated. I didn't hear that black lady say anything about kids being in zip ties. She just said they brought the kids out with no shoes on. But of course, we have to exaggerate it because we need to protect the illegal immigrants. My thing to you is this: be mad at who you're supposed to be mad at. This is not Trump's fault. This is not conservatives' fault. This is Brandon Johnson and the Chicago City Council's fault. Why? Because they let a bunch of illegal criminals come into their city, and they took those criminals and they placed them among African American people, knowing that there was a chance that the federal government would come in there and they would be searching for these people with warrants. Yes, they had 5 warrants, but they got to go in and find 5 people. And yes, they came in the middle of the night because that's when those people are most likely to be home, sleeping in their bed, so the federal agents could come get them. Now, my question to you is this: African Americans, this is what you're voting for. You voted for Biden to let all these people come in, but then you realize what a bad impact that on your community, and now the people of Chicago want those illegal migrants out. Well, this is how you get them out. But you do know who Illinois voted for in the last election, right? Kamala. You did know that Kamala Harris was a part of an administration that let 20 million illegal aliens cross the border. You do know that, right? So why are you complaining because Trump and MAGA are cleaning up the mess you made? You get in the bed with people who are enemies of this country, and then you get mad when your toe gets stepped on as the real patriots come in to clean house and get them out. I'm not buying it. And I'm not on your side. Because you had a chance to stand up for what's right, and you chose to stand up for criminality. You chose to stand up for anti-American policies. And they weren't even policies because no one would actually vote on this stuff. So what the president did was he just turned a blind eye to it and passed a bunch of executive orders to prevent the people at the border who are put in charge of protecting our borders from doing their job. Understand something. You reap what you sow. And this is what you reaped. This is what you reaped because this is what you sowed. What you sowed. You thought you were going to get some type of a Scooby snack for sacrificing your neighborhoods and your children's education to the Democrat Party in service of illegal immigrants. And reality came and it bit you in the butt. It came and it hit you right square in the keister. And now you don't like it. But the law will be enforced, whether you like it or not. African Americans let violent criminal drug addicts and drug dealers roam our communities, and we cheer for these people. We celebrate these people. When the police come and bust in your door to grab one of them, you don't even have a complaint. But we've made it clear as a group what we support in this country. And unfortunately, what we say we support as en masse is criminality. There is a good significant number of us who stand for law and order, and that number is growing. But when you stand for criminality, don't be surprised if you are caught up in the middle of when the law come to apprehend those criminals. Because y'all should have been reported them illegal aliens up and had them picked up out of y'all building. But you didn't do it because you call yourself being the defender of these migrants. But this is not your business. And if you would stay out of it, guess what? It would have no effect on you. You know who I blame for those kids? If they were in fact zip tied, I don't see any evidence of that. But if they were in fact zip tied, do you know who I blame for those kids getting zip tied? I blame their parents. I blame the black men and women of Chicago for not standing up and saying, you could do a lot. You could do a lot, but you won't do it in my community. You do whatever you want to, but it ain't going to happen over here. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You know what you did? You let them run rampant in your community. You let these people prey on your community. Those people came into your community doing crime, all sorts of crime. And instead of standing up to those people and standing up to your politicians, you capitulated. You bent over and let them do it. Now, there are a few brave souls in Chicago who stood up for what was right, and they voted against that bastard Brandon Johnson. But the overwhelming number of black people in Chicago, they voted for a communist. They voted for a globalist when they voted for Brandon Johnson. And this is what happens when you hand your city over to tyrants. And it is okay for this to not be okay, but this is okay. Because this is what has to happen for the law to be enforced and get a greater threat out of the country. Because if my kid has to get let out in the middle of the night by an ICE agent, guess what? That's way better than my kid getting strung up on the side of a freeway by some deranged lunatic who's been let out of an El Salvadorian insane asylum. I'm going to weigh the risk, and I'm going to weigh the reward, and I'm going to come down on the side that benefits me the most. Because Lincoln Riley ain't coming back. I bet she wished she could have got let out by ICE agent, detained for a couple of hours and allowed to go back into her house. She's not coming back. The other one, Jocelyn, she's not coming back. You sit up and you complain about ICE in the name of allowing a greater threat to stay in this country. And this is how I know that these black folks don't really believe this stuff that they're saying. They're being programmed and indoctrinated with propaganda to support things that go against their own best interest. You think ICE is leading your kid out by their hand is bad at 3 a.m.? What happened when your kid come up missing? And you find out something has happened to her at the hands of one of these mentally deranged criminals that were released from insane asylums from South American countries and told, go to the United States and don't come back. Let's go with the quote. Benjamin Franklin said, those willing to give up freedom for security never deserved freedom. He actually said those willing to give up freedom for temporary security never deserve freedom. Temporary. There's a word temporary in there. But this ain't for temporary security. These are long-term decisions. Let me get the quote right. I don't want to spread no misinformation. Ben Franklin. Okay. What the heck did I do? I'm trying to get a Ben Franklin quote, and I done typed in. Okay, here it goes. Yeah, I know that quote. I know that quote, baby. Don't play. Hakeem, you know I be reading this shit. Let's go right here. %. Here's the quote. Those who would give up essential liberty. Essential liberty. So this is his actual quote. And that's where that's the biggest word in the quote, essential. Essential liberty is not someone detaining you for a couple of hours is not a threat to your essential liberty. That's them detaining you in the name of enforcing the law, which allows you to have lasting liberty. So those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Now, my question and challenge to you would be, in what way was ICE detaining those people to keep them out of harm's way unsafe? ICE was detaining them to keep them safe from the criminals that the Biden administration allowed to come into the country. This ain't no unlawful search, because if you have a warrant, that search is lawful. You know, in this country, we got laws and shit. If you have a warrant, that makes a search lawful. And that's something that unlawful. Hakeem, you're smarter than me, but you love to leave out the meaning of certain words. Unlawful. But in this country, we voted and chose a government that says if a federal judge gives the permission and a warrant for federal agents to go into a property, it doesn't matter whose property it is or whose inconvenience. They have the lawful right to go into that property to ensure the long-term safety of Americans. So the person who puts you in an unsafe situation was the president who allowed thousands of gang members, mentally ill, deranged lunatics from South America to come into this country unvetted. That's the person who put your liberty and safety at risk. And now Donald Trump is, if you want to make an omelet, you're going to have to crack some eggs. But what he's doing is he's inconveniencing you to keep you safe long term. This is not a hard thing to understand. Anyone in here would love to live next door to an ICE agent as opposed to living next door to a mentally deranged criminal who came out of a El Salvadoran insane asylum. I'm going out on a limb here, but I think we know who we would prefer to live by. And what I want to know is, what about ICE detaining those people and those children? What about that was unsafe? The ICE agent told the lady, yeah, I'm doing this for your safety. And when you talk about people being placed in handcuffs and stuff, you have to understand something. There are people who are American citizens who are attacking ICE agents right now in Chicago. In Chicago. They just shot one lady who tried to ambush, her and a group tried to ambush a bunch of ICE agents. They shot her. She lived. She's at the hospital. Stable condition. There's another guy who brought a gun to a protest in front of an ICE facility. So this is what's going to happen. You start engaging in criminality in the defense of criminals. Don't complain to me if you get zip tied. That's not my issue. That's not my problem. You're making your own choices. You're making your own choices, and you're going to live with the consequences, not me. Let's play a little bit more, Karen.
They are operating outside of the law. This is unreal. You guys have got to understand how severe of a violation this is on so many levels. This kind of authoritarian, absolutely illegal bullshit cannot be normalized or tolerated in the United States of America.
I want you to understand something. When liberals call something BS, 9 times out of 10, that means it's totally good. It's good. They're operating outside of the law, but didn't the Supreme Court rule that Donald Trump can continue these deportations? Don't they have to give him a federal warrant to engage in these type of activities? How is this outside the law? Oh, wait, but these are the same people who want to pack the Supreme Court to make it basically pointless, void, to nullify it. Everything they say you're doing, they're doing. The people operating outside the law are the people trying to attack ICE agents. There was a guy who literally, a sniper, who was trying to shoot ICE agents and actually end up hitting illegal aliens. You don't see this chick reporting on that. And that guy killed people. He killed 2 people. 2 of the people she claims to be fighting for the rights of. But you ain't saw one report from her on that. Because it's not about the illegals. It's not about the migrants. It's about blue and red, Republican and Democrat. Whatever your side does, I'm going to say it's bad because I want my side to have the mantle of power and leadership. And that's okay. But you don't today.
Trump regime and literal ghoul Stephen Miller are now saying it is acceptable if ICE manufactures some scenario where they say there might be something going on, maybe possibly with immigrants, they can just bust down the door of your home, come in, drag you out, handcuff you, do whatever the fuck they want to you while they figure out whatever it is they're doing, whatever. They're manufacturing terror in our...
Notice that she plays no clips. She played that one lady's clip in the very beginning. She hasn't played any other clips. She hasn't let you hear any eyewitness testimony because it doesn't support the narrative that she is trying to push. And believe me, this is a narrative. She's nothing more than a propaganda pusher. Guys, I did the research. I looked for evidence of what they're saying. And when I looked for the evidence, all I found was this was like a run-of-the-mill federal raid on a high-density housing. Right? Oh, you live up the street, Costa? My boy Costa lives in Chicago. I'll drop you the link right now. I'll let you speak before CNN, brother. Only Costa will be allowed up because he is a longtime viewer of this channel, and I know for a fact he resides in Chicago. And I would love to get his perspective. I also wish that Lionheart, Lion's Den, was here because she is also a very politically active person in the city of Chicago. Costa, the link is in the comments. Click it, my brother. Come on up. Give us the news from on the ground. Because here you go. Here you go. My boy is here. All right, man. What's going on, man?
Peace. How you doing, Brandon?
All right. What area do you live in Chicago, just for the viewers?
Bro, I stay literally a couple of blocks up the street. So that's it. This is 75th and South Shore. I don't want to
What
drop my
area is
low
that
too
called?
much,
No, don't
but I
drop the low,
stay
but
on
what area?
Coles. I stay on Coles. You can see on if you look on Google Maps, Coles is like the next block or two over from South Shore. So like this is right up the street. These people who are talking on that news channel and basically what you're saying, they're pushing a narrative. What happened is these Venezuelans, they've been basically occupying that building. It was the TDA, Tren de la Agua. It's a gang.
Yeah,
They
the
were
same gang
occupying
who
that
took over
building.
the building in Aurora, Colorado.
They were trafficking people out of there, and they were doing prostitution and selling drugs up out of there. There was a few niggas that lived in there, but it was like two, I want to say like two black families that lived in that whole building, bro. The whole building was Venezuelan. So when they came over there, they're literally coming for the Venezuelans. If they hemmed up two niggas in the process, so be it. Niggas done been hemmed up in a raid before.
Hey,
You know, like
Patrick Smith said it best. He said New Jack City. We all saw that happen on New Jack City, the movie.
yeah, and they got let go. Like they're not looking for you. They know you're an American. They just gotta still follow protocol because you still are a person in this building that is being run by these criminals.
And they don't know what Tren de Aragua might do. Because if you watch the video footage from the building that they took over in Chicago, in Aurora, Colorado, bro, they was kicking in people's doors, talking about you pay us the rent now, showing up to people's doors with blick, with assault rifles and everything.
And that could very well be a possibility. I would say it's a little bit less likely to happen out here in Chicago, but that still could happen, you know, just because it was only two black families in that whole building. So notice the people who giving these interviews are old niggas. You ever noticed that?
Yeah, they're older people. Yeah.
They these are crackheads, bro. Like I live in this area and these people be walking up and down the street. They stand on the corners every day. They have nothing to do. So this is they photo op. This is they spot to the big light. So they're gonna seize on the opportunity, even if they gotta lie, even if they gotta push a false narrative.
So as a Chicagoan African American person, would you say you support what ICE is doing, or you want them out immediately?
I fully support what ICE is doing. If I see them brothers, I'm gonna offer them some cookies and lemonade for their hard work. Listen here, bro. ICE had to kill somebody out here because they tried to run them over with the car. This was like a month ago. So they was dragging one of the federal agents, the ICE agents, with the car. He shot through the window. Person ended up dying in the hospital. That's a few months. They just shot a lady. They just shot a lady yesterday in Brighton Park because she had a blick on her. It was another dude who threatened to kill a federal ICE agent. These are federal agents. What people don't understand is, bro, like if you try to kill them or you get trial for attempted murder on them, bro, they don't take you to Guantanamo Bay. You're a domestic terrorist.
Right. And
like
if you side with people committing crimes in America, I mean, and you try to get in the way, they're gonna treat you like one of those criminals.
Yep. They're gonna be like Harold and Kumar out there eating cockney sandwich.
Hey, man, go ahead.
Bro, ICE is doing a phenomenal job. This is what we wanted when they first start flooding in about 2020, 2021. These people were all in the parking lots. Whenever we come out from getting the little groceries that we could afford, hey, me hungry, hey, amigo, hey, papi, food, me hungry. begging, bro. Like, and after a while, you feel bad because at the end of the day, it's people. But at the same time, it's like, why did y'all come all the way up here? No plan. You know, like
You came up. Why did the government? Why did Biden tell them to surge the border, knowing he wasn't gonna be able to take care of all these people? That's the problem, and he did it without even considering the thoughts of the American people.
right.
All right, brother. I'm gonna get into this footage on CNN. Thank you so much for coming up and giving us the on the ground perspective.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace. Guys, listen, I've known Costa for many years. My brother is as Chicago as it gets. A lot of my family, half of my family lives in Chicago. I talk to them. They all support ICE 100%. Guys, listen, black people are at city council meetings every week, every month, screaming at the mayor about how these illegal migrants are having a negative impact on their community. So like I told you, this is propaganda. Let's get one or two dope fiends, put a mic in front of them. Yeah, I thought somebody was barbecuing. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time. You remember that lady? Yeah, you can find a crazy hype to put in front of a camera and say almost anything you want them to say. And understand, they interview a bunch of people, then they cut the footage and put the interviews of the people who basically support the narrative that they're trying to push. But let me get this super chat before we get started with the video from CNN where Van Lathan and I forgot that other lady's name. They basically do what they do. Why does it bother Chicago that there can be this much outrage for someone finally cleaning the streets, but not when the gangs unalive each other? 100%. 100%. When Brandon Johnson and the mayor of Illinois refused to allow Trump to bring in the National Guard to clean up the gang problem in Chicago, or to bring the FBI in to clean up the gang problem in Chicago, black folks aren't even complaining. They're not even complaining. But when Trump comes in to clean up the illegal migrants off the street, all of a sudden they got an issue with it. You can't tell me that that city doesn't love criminality. If it wasn't for people like Costa, my family members, people like Lioness Den, and all these other people who I know are strong, they're very proud of their city. My boy 10 Speed, very proud of their city, and they want their city to be safe so they can raise children there. I would think Chicago is like Sodom and Gomorrah, because they seem to have a problem whenever somebody is trying to do right by them. The mayor of the city of Chicago, oh, nah, Trump, don't send troops, just send money. Why? So you keep wasting it? You wouldn't be in a deficit if you didn't give $500 million to illegal immigrants. Brandon Johnson. These people are playing a shell game. They think somebody's stupid trying to play in our face, and it's not gonna work. Okay, so thank you, the Neighborhood Herald, for the $5 holler in the super chat. Guys, feel free to contribute to the channel. A lot of times when I talk about these illegal immigrant issues, we get demonetized. So your support is greatly appreciated, and I will continue to cover these topics because they're very important. It's very important for people to know that there are people who 100% support what the president is doing and support the men and women of ICE and other federal agencies as they fight to defend and protect this country. I know they are happy to finally be able to do their job and not have to sit on the sideline while the president commits treason against this country in the name of God knows what he's trying to do. But I don't know what Biden's goal with these illegal immigrants was. My brother, the OG, it all has to go to everything has to hold for my brother to get a chance. What's up, my brother? Calling in, got your boy on the big screen. I see you.
You know I had to put you on the big screen. You big time now. Let's go.
Man, I'm doing my best, man.
Hey, man. Hey, I get it. Be humble. All right, I got you.
So what's up, my brother?
All right, well, I saw you up there speaking hot fire with your boy Destiny. So shout outs to you for actually just dropping vibranium, as I said last time. Man,
That's all
come
we
on,
do. That's
man.
all we do. You know how we do it.
I know how you did it. You did it for a long time. So again, man, I mean, I think it's important for us to guard our nation. Like, and that's what I see what you're doing. And it's quite funny if we go to Mexico, if we go to Salvador, if we go to any other countries do the same. And we don't run down on them. I mean, if you go to Thailand, they're gonna be getting you up out of here if you're not legal. If you go to any other country, Mexico has a standard of visas right now that currently you could stay there for 90 days within 180 days. And people just kept leaving and then coming back. It's completely fine within their rules of immigration. But Mexicans were like, yo, we're tired of you doing that. You can't even do that. Stop doing that. You have to do this, or you're raising the prices for us and we don't like it. And so now they started to stop allowing Americans to come in per the immigration rules. So again, a culture and a certain amount of people can always say no to you and say, stop coming. And we don't tend to hate on them for doing that in their own country. We're like, well, hey, it's Mexico. It's their right. You know, we visitors. Don't disrespect.
We respect.
Yeah, don't disrespect El Nino. Don't disrespect the enchiladas. Don't disrespect nothing we got going on down here. But when it comes to America, it seems like we allow foreigners and even ourselves, we allow other people to write our rules and allow us to shut up. And it should be a right for them to live in our country. And I think that's just insanity. So you just defending it. That's all I see. It's not even about hate. It's about reciprocity. Something Trump was trying to say to people.
Hey, 100%, man. I don't hate anybody. I would just like them to give us the same respect in our country as we give them in their country. And if I go to Africa, we's black over in Africa. But hey, guess what? When that visa about to expire, you better beat feet. You better beat feet, or you going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Why do a lot of people in America have like an anti-authority attitude? You know what I'm saying? And they're so anti-authority that they're gonna hurt themselves. Like, I compare it to like a teenager. You know, sometimes teenagers are so rebellious that they end up running into a wall. And it's like, if you had just a little bit of respect for the authority of your parents, you would have never got put in this situation. It's like, are you willing to die just to show the government how much you don't want to listen to them or you don't approve? It's craziness. It's insanity.
Yeah. And you know, since I'm an expat, I spend a good amount of time overseas. I always see it, and I'm like, what? You know, if half of these countries do things that we would never allow, they'll come to Thailand and be like, you better not talk about the police or the government. You better shut up talking about this and talking about that. And then they'll say on the other side, man, it's mad free. You could do whatever you want. And I'm like, man, if we ever did that in America, you would call it a tyranny, dictatorship. It's not right. You should have your freedoms. And I'm cool with other countries having their rules. I often say nothing, but I still love the empire. And so at the end of the day, I think that it's quite fine for the empire to start establishing these tariffs, start establishing these border restrictions and these limitations, because every country has them, period. And we put respect on them. So put some respect on our country and what we established. And you just defending that. So,
facts,
hey, man.
Brother, facts. Thank you. I appreciate you coming up, my brother. I'm going to get into the CNN. You know, you always welcomed on this channel, and you speaking that hot fire, dropping pure vibranium like how we do. I'll see you later, brother.
Peace.
Hey, that's my boy. That's my dog right there, man. For real, for real. Hey, where y'all going? Hey, can you bring me back like a green juice? Like a, you know, huh? The store? Bye. Okay. So we up in the building, man. Now that's my brother, man, right there. Y'all don't even understand that we go way back. But listen, let's check out CNN, the Communist News Network, because you know they can't never come down on the side of what's right or the law. They always got to find a problem with something that Trump is doing. And what is this lady's name again? I always forget her name. She's very cute though. I will give her that. She's very beautiful. But yeah, she's always tripping. But let's play this video.
Donald Trump wanted American cities to be training grounds, and ICE listened. In Chicago, in the middle of the night, federal agents stormed an apartment building. Black Hawk helicopters, flashbangs, military-style trucks, all used in the raid. Now, witnesses say everyone was detained, no matter their status. Children were zip-tied together, separated from their parents. And the feds say that they arrested dozens of gang members. Also in the city, Charlie Kirk's group was given a front row seat to a raid inside a Walmart.
Amazing. Secretary Noem was here. They rolled up a couple of guys, and it's rowdy. There's a lot of people around. Everyone's filming. The Secretary of Homeland Security is right now doing raids at Walmart.
So as forewarned, I mean, we have a situation in which American cities are
now, mind you, Abby Phillip, thank you, Neighborhood Herald and everybody else who told me. As you listen to Abby Phillip, witnesses say that these things happen. Okay, but where's the footage of it happening? Witnesses say that's so that they can put it out there to try to sensationalize it without having to take credit for it or to prove it in the name of journalistic integrity. Well, witnesses say, I didn't hear that lady say from the other lady's video say anything about kids being zip tied. I heard her say she was zip tied. Oh, and it didn't matter your status. Well, yeah, your status doesn't matter. We have to move you out of this building and detain you for a minute while we go in the building and find the criminals. And since there are people in Chicago who are willing to harm federal agents in defense of illegal migrants, guess what that means? That means they're going to have to detain people. They're going to have to zip tie people. But it is what it is, man. Abby just getting a check.
The center of this ICE crackdown, and there's indiscriminate use of force against Americans, non-Americans, people here legally, people here illegally. And on the right, nobody seems to care. In fact, they love it.
I saw a video from a local station in Chicago, and residents of a community there were describing an ICE raid and like what they saw. Two things struck me. One, they were talking about things that happened to them. They were talking about how they were treated in this ICE raid. These are the people that, I guess, by virtue of being born here in America, are entitled to being treated like human beings. The second thing is that they were all Black. And I'm going to say something. We saw this coming. Mm-hmm. We knew the neighborhoods where these ICE raids would take place. We knew that a lot of these things wouldn't happen in Beverly Hills or in Coconut Grove or any of those places like that. We knew that there would be collateral damage, that there would be trauma that would be inflicted on our communities. We knew that people would be detained, scared. We knew that children would have to see things that they...
Yes, Van, you knew that when you voted for Biden and you sat and said nothing as he and Kamala Harris allowed 20 million illegal migrants to come into this country, thousands of whom were criminals who were released from South American prisons and mental institutions. We did know that, but you didn't care because your Democrat overlords, they told you, shut up and get in line and don't worry about what we're doing. And you said, okay, and just fell in line like a good boy. Yeah, we knew. We knew when you do things like that, you know there's going to be some blowback. You know there's going to be some consequences. But this guy is coming from a video. He said, "Oh well, I saw a video, and this was happening." Right? Yeah, Van, you saw a video. We just talked to somebody who lives in that neighborhood and said it was only like 2 Black families that actually lived in that building, and that building had been overrun by Tren de Aragua, a Venezuelan gang. See, but everything he says, oh, it's off a video. And they was talking about what happened to him. Well, what did they say happened to him, Van? He's purposely omitting the part where he describes what the people said happened to them because it's not graphic enough to scare you. Oh, one lady said she was zip tied. They said they let some kids out at 3 a.m. and put them in a van and held them there until they apprehended the suspects they were looking for. That doesn't sound scary enough. So, oh man, they were talking about what happened, and what bothered me is they was all black. So all 2 people that they interviewed happened to be black, huh, Van? But he makes it seem like it was 50 people out there talking about how ICE abused them. I hate this. I do not like this news outlet because they purposely mislead. Why do you need to mislead and fearmonger people if your job is just to report the news? This guy is goofy and has a history of operating against the best interests of his own folks.
Shouldn't have to see. And all of this for political theater so that we look tough on immigration for everyone. It's a horror show. And I do think if it hasn't already happened, that it'll be something that even the most conservative of Americans will get tired of seeing human beings treated this way. At least that's my hope.
The one neighbor said the kids were crying. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they were bringing kids down too, had them zip tied to each other, saying that there were trucks, military-style vans used to separate adults from kids. What's going on?
I haven't seen any of this, so I certainly am not aware of particular neighborhoods that are targeted.
I love this lady. The first thing she said, I haven't seen any of this. No one's seen any of this. This is just being said. This is a narrative that the leftist media is trying to push, and they know that they can't confirm it. So they're going to try to put it off on the eyewitnesses, people who have no, don't have to worry about journalistic integrity. No one's seen any of this. Children were zip tied together. So they zip tied this child to this child to this child to this child. Now, could I see a need for children to be zip tied together? Yeah, because if I'm leading a bunch of children out of a big ass apartment building, maybe I zip tie them together so no one gets lost, no one gets no one straggles behind, right? Lags behind. I could see something like that. But at this point, I see no evidence that children were actually zip tied at all or separated from their parents. This is all just hearsay from a bunch of people, from not even a bunch, from eyewitnesses, but who could be, like my boy said, straight up dope fiends who just said anything to get a camera on them.
Obviously, I support them finding and arresting people who are here illegally. And in the community they're in, again, I can't justify, I haven't seen which communities that they're targeting.
Well, one detail that's been left out is that they were targeting Tren de Aragua. And so Tren de Aragua is a violent transnational gang. They send illegal immigrants here to the United States. They traffic drugs, they traffic people, they commit violence. They inflict misery everywhere they go. And 37 people were arrested.
Now, what I want you to notice, we're going to pull it back. We're going to rewind it, pause a little bit. Notice how Van Lathan starts engaging in disrespectful interference the moment Scott Jennings starts talking. This is what someone does when they're trying to push a narrative and you're just stating facts. They have to try to distract from what you're saying because they know that when you drop those facts, it is going to obliterate their narrative, their propaganda laden narrative, right? Now, watch. He's going to breathe into his mind. He's going to do like the stuff Lush does on No Jumper when he wants to try to like interrupt me without interrupting. It's just something that people do that's disrespectful because they know that your talking points are better than theirs. Listen closely. He's going to breathe in. Then he's going to start beating on the table like this. Why are you doing that? I've watched this little round table. I've watched Abby Phillip on CNN for a couple of years where I've covered her show. I've never seen someone do something that disrespectful while Scott Jennings was talking. They may interrupt him from time to time. They may try to overtalk him, but I've never seen anyone, even the women there. I have not seen them engage in such sassy ass behavior, such disrespectful behavior, especially after Scott Jennings sat there quietly and let Van Lathan spew his lies.
Traffic drugs, they traffic people, they commit violence, they inflict misery. Left out is that they were targeting.
I can't justify. I haven't seen
Here it comes. Just listen.
which communities that they're targeting.
Well, one detail that's been left out is that they were targeting Tren de Aragua. And so Tren de Aragua is a violent transnational gang. They send illegal immigrants here to the United States. They traffic drugs, they traffic people, they commit violence. They inflict misery everywhere they go. And 37 people were arrested. That was the purpose of the raid, the targeting of Tren de Aragua, some of the most violent people in our hemisphere. And when they come here, nothing good happens. That was
Okay,
the point.
so if it was targeting, I don't think anybody has a problem with targeting. When you clear out an apartment building and you zip tie children and you arrest and detain everyone. Scott, hold on, Scott. You and me, we're talking here. Okay.
She's saying, hold on, Scott, you and me, we're talking. Van Lathan is the one interrupting. She's talking to Scott Jennings. Van Lathan is interrupting, and she's trying to act like Scott Jennings is the one interrupting. Let me ask you a question, and let me tell you how I know this is bullcrap. While you got Afro Cuz TV in the comments sounding dumb, sounding even dumber than he looks. Mental gymnastics, Brandon, you've lost it. Were the kids even fucking black? Have you even asked yourself that question? Were the kids even black, you damn coon? You don't even know. Because they're purposely omitting what race the kids were because they're trying to gaslight you. And you're mad at me because I'm smart enough to see it and you can't. Were the kid? Someone in the comments, tell me what color the kids was. Tell me what color the kids was since I've lost it. And this is how propaganda works. They bank on you not paying attention to details because you're too busy trying to play the victim. Because let's be real, if the kids weren't black, black people couldn't care less. But once again, they're trying to get you to do what your dumb butt did during civil rights. Where you gave up, where you tried to jump out in the front of a bunch of other groups to fight for them. And then when the dust cleared, they took everything and you got nothing. This whole thing, and I apologize for curse words, but this whole thing is it's just a shell game. It's just a shell game. You've lost it. Look, man, were these kids black? Because my brother who lives in Chicago was like, nah, that building got taken over by Mexicans. It's like two black families that live in there. So if there were black kids in there, it was probably a few, if there were any, and the majority of those kids probably were Hispanic kids whose parents lived in there and were getting apprehended. So then they were let out by ICE. But you're not even taking the time to ask those questions. You're just jumping on the bandwagon because that's what we do best. Jump off the ledge without having barely any information. They count on you to do that. But when they were inundating your neighborhoods with illegal aliens and your kids' schools was getting shut down to become homeless shelters for South American gang members, you were all up in arms. Now all of a sudden, oh man, we got to go jump out there. They're doing something to black folk. No, they're not. No, they're not. But if they can gaslight you into fighting a battle for them, you know what? They will. They will.
Arrest children. They arrest everyone, citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty for no matter how long. You are fine with that.
They didn't arrest children.
And non-citizens.
See how she's lying?
If they arrest children, you and me, we're talking.
How many children were placed under arrest? If you're arrested, you go to the station. That's what happens when you get arrested. When you're arrested, you don't just get released on the street.
Talking here, okay? If they arrest children, they arrest everyone, citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty, for no matter how long. You are fine with that.
They didn't arrest children, but
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip
She
ties.
did say
but
that.
If that makes
She
a
did
difference
say
to
that.
you, go
She
ahead.
did say. She did say that. I didn't say they arrested children. That's exactly what she said.
but
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip ties. Hold on, Scott. You and me, we're talking here, okay? If they arrest children, they arrest everyone. If they arrest children, they arrest everyone.
But do you see how smoothly she just lied? I'll give her credit. Her weave is banging, but this woman is a liar. She sat there and said, I didn't say they arrested. Woman, lady, they're literally recording you. They're literally, L.A. Thorne, I got you. I'm about to let y'all up right now. They're literally recording you. You're being recorded lying on your own show. I didn't say they arrested children. Girl, yes, you did. But they don't care about the truth. They don't care about the truth. They think you're so dumb that they could say something and 2 minutes later say, I didn't say that. And you're going to believe it. She lied 19 seconds after she said it.
Citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty, for no matter how long. You are fine with that.
they didn't arrest children, but
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip ties. But if that makes a difference to you, go ahead.
here's what makes a difference to me. If the federal government knows that there is a nest of Tren de Aragua in a city like Chicago, they have a responsibility. They have an obligation to go get them. It is unfortunate, to answer your question, that there are children put in harm's way by these violent gangs. But that is going to be the reality.
Or is it unfortunate, or is it a violation of their rights, is the question. Because, I mean, in this country, we have rights against searches and illegal
you're suggesting
searches
these
and
children
seizure.
should be effectively human shields for Tren de Aragua, and I don't agree with
What I'm
that.
asking, hold on, I want to make it clear. I don't like, I know that Tren de Aragua and gangs and whatever, it's a catch-all to treat people however you want, to go in there and shred the Constitution or whatever else it is that you want to do. What I'm asking you is this. Do you think that children should have been zip-tied and pulled out of an apartment complex and traumatized like that? Yes or no?
I don't think children should be put in harm's way by transnational gangs.
Just answer the question. Yes or no? Do you think that children...
I'll answer the question. Yes. If you have to zip tie children to keep them safe from transnational gang members as ICE goes in to detain them and arrest them, yes, 100%. 100%. That's what Scott Jennings should have said. 100%. But yet we have no proof that children were actually zip tied. We have some mysterious person who said that they won't name, and they won't even stand behind the statement 100%. This is a shell game that they're playing. And Van Lathan, he's just crap. We know that.
I don't accept the...
You know, Adam 22 wants to bring this fool to debate me at No Jumper. This dude, I will kick this dude's butt in a debate. He's that ignorant. With that damn baseball cap on.
Premise of your question.
I'm asking
the
you
government's not
whether or
putting
not-
children in harm's way. Tren de Aragua.
Real calm now. Real calm. Like
They're the ones putting
gentlemen
children
to
in harm's way.
Gentlemen to gentlemen. We have a responsibility for the way we treat people with the power that we have here in America. And we have a standard that we should treat human life with. And I'm asking you very clearly, concisely, should children be treated that way? Does Scott Jennings like that?
I don't accept the premise of your question.
All right, cool.
I don't believe that the premise of your question is accurate. I would ask you back. Should children be allowed to live in an apartment building with Tren de Aragua? Should the entire community of Chicago have to live with Tren de Aragua because they hide behind these children?
But here's the thing.
That's my question.
I think the answer to that is clear. No, they should not be put in harm's way. But the difference is in this situation is I don't want to be Tren de Aragua. I don't want my law enforcement to act like Tren de Aragua. That is the distinction.
You don't want to leave it? Do you just want to leave it and say
your law enforcement's not acting like Tren de Aragua? Because Tren de Aragua would have kicked your door in, told you you're paying me rent now, killed your freaking husband, and then left them in a puddle of blood until you brought them the rent money. That's what Trinidad Agua would do. Trinidad Agua would have took your daughter and put her out on the host roll because that's what they were doing. So how is ICE in any way similar to Trinidad Agua? These people are only saying this, one, because they're not being affected by it. Two, because they know when Trump's done getting them out, they will benefit from it. I can speak against it while not really, while deep down inside being happy that it's happening. Because Trinidad Agua ain't in their neighborhood. They're living in a neighborhood surrounded by the same white people that they call racist. Do you understand? They are living in neighborhoods surrounded by a bunch of white people like Scott Jennings that they call racist every day at work.
Well, they have kids in there. Let's just move on.
No, but can't law enforcement figure out a way? I don't think this is the first time children have been in an environment where dangerous people have been around them. And I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip tied and carried out like animals. What I am wondering is, okay, let's put this.
What proof does this woman have that these children were zip tied? They said eyewitnesses said this. But we listen to interviews of eyewitnesses and we never heard anyone say, yo, they zip tied the kids. These are opinions, 100%. But they don't even have proof that this actually happened. But they're going to keep trying to pin Scott Jennings down on it just to make him look bad and make him look insensitive to their audience. And he's not going for it.
Fact pattern on any other placement. Let's put it on a school, right? What if there was a gang member in a school? And by this calculation, it would seem like the children in the school, in order to get that one gang member or two gang members, would get.
It's not one gang member. It's 37 people.
Let's say there's five.
It's a large apartment building. That's part of the fact pattern here. I mean, here's another one from our reporting. Tenants said it appears everyone in the building was detained by federal officers, including U.S. citizens. It was scary, said one, because I had never had a gun in my face. That person lives in the building. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? I told them, no, I didn't. Fisher, this person says, she was handcuffed anyway before being released around 3 a.m. and was told anyone with outstanding warrants, even if it was unrelated to immigration, would not be released. So people live in apartment buildings all over this country.
I promise that.
Is that where wait a second. Should I just go to an apartment building and hide?
Wait. I'm talking about the way that citizen of this country was treated. By the way, I just want to be clear. I think that everybody that's created in the image of God should be treated with respect. And I thought that part of the American ideal was that, but that's gone. I promise y'all will still be invited to Mar-a-Lago if you say that it is wrong that children were zip tied and that American people, American citizens, were detained without any warrant or suspicion.
Briefly detained? In an effort to get 37
I'm trying to see the part where they were saying the kids were zip tied. I don't see anything about kids being zip tied.
I think that everybody that's created in the image of God should be treated with respect. And I thought that part of the American ideal was that, but that's gone. I promise y'all will still be invited to Mar-a-Lago if you say that it is wrong that children were zip tied and that American people, American citizens, were detained without any warrant or suspicion.
Briefly detained? In an effort to get 37
without any warrant or suspicion. They have a warrant from the judicial branch of the government telling them they are able to go carry out this work. And then there's no suspicion. If there was no suspicion, how did they end up arresting 37 people in that building? How did they, in one building, they got almost 40 people out of that building? What is this guy talking about? Van Lathan just be running his mouth trying to sound smart. and he's just doing it for a check. That's it. With his dumb facial expression. Excuse me. This guy be having the dumbest facial expression. Look at this guy's face. Ah! No, he's a wannabe Abby Phillip. He's a wannabe Abby Phillip. Can't find work, so he's on CNN now because they're just trying to hire anybody who has an audience. CNN hire anybody that has people watching them. And Van Lathan got a bunch of African American Karens who watch his show, so he'll bring their eyes to CNN because he's on. That's it.
Give me that. Okay,
so,
members.
So tell me. So real quick, tell me how long is okay?
So are you?
How long is okay?
So can would you be okay being detained so that the gang members? Would you be okay with your rights being violated and you be held until 3 a.m. with your family member not knowing why? Is that okay? Because that's not okay with me.
Everybody here seems to believe that if you're Trinde Aragua, you can go hide in an apartment building, and because there are other people there, you just get to be left alone. That is not a reasonable enforcement position.
There's another option here, and it's actually an option that's utilized by law enforcement every single day in this country. When they are looking for violent people, they go look for those violent people. They do not subject the people around those violent people who have nothing to do with them with arrest, with guns in their faces, with being searched, with being zip tied and handcuffed and detained.
This is 100% a lie. This is 100% a lie. Ain't no black people went to jail for no ICE raids. Please stop being ignorant. This is a lie. If there's a criminal in a building and the police come into that building, they liable to handcuff everybody in the building. And you definitely gonna get a gun put on you because they need to make sure you're not the criminal. Do you know how many people have guns pointed at them because the police are looking for someone and they're like, we just got to make sure. Turn around, walk backwards to us. Once they get you, lay on the ground. We're going to search you. Okay, who are you? Are you this, that, and the third? What are you talking about? The police pulled guns on Terrence Crawford and his whole crew the other day on a traffic stop because the police pulled guns on you to ensure their safety. This is just pure BS. They're acting like we haven't lived in America for our whole lives to see all this stuff was going on. The only reason they have a problem with this now is because it goes against the narrative. Because they are there to create a narrative that is being pushed by the Democrat or liberal wing of the government. That's it. That's it. And I promise you, when the Democrats pivot and switch course and try to move back to the middle, CNN and then we'll pivot, switch course, and try to move back to the middle. Bro, you TD, please stop. Please stop. Because you're trying to sound like you're smart, but it doesn't matter if it's at an apartment building. It don't matter if it's at a business. It don't matter. If they have a warrant for people's arrest in a building and the building has been taken over by gang members, they're making everybody get out of the building. You don't live in Chicago. You don't know the nuance or the details of the story. That building had been taken over by Trinde Aragua gang members. Someone from Chicago who lives right around the corner was like, man, it was only like one or two black families that lived in there. This is why they're not telling you whether the kids who were escorted out were black or not. L.A. Thorne the Martian, my brother, what's the deal?
Hey, man, I just want to add my 2 cents, me being ex-military, about the raid and how it was conducted. The reason why they would use something like a Black Hawk helicopter and rappel down is to gain access to the rooftop, and the reason why they would secure the entire building and detain the entire occupants of the building is to, like how you would be looking for a high value target. Basically you would have to make sure that everyone is accounted for. Everyone, the person that the people that you're looking for is the right person. Because if you decide to just, go to one or two rooms, say like, oh, like he's in apartment, 22B, and he's actually in 5C, then that might allow the person that you're looking for to escape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the reason why that the entire all the occupants of that building would get detained. Now it's temporary, and any violations of the right of someone's rights would only be applicable to citizens. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the Constitution covers.
But L.A. Thorne the Martian, you think
Yes.
these black folks don't know that? You think these black people don't know that? They're just acting. They're being obtuse. They're pretending like they don't understand the way their country works so that they can justify defending illegal criminals who migrated into this country in the service of the Democrat Party. This is what it means to be a liberal. You have to pretend like you were born last night. Everyone knows if they go into a building like that, they're going to come from the top, bottom, and all angles to keep people from escaping. They arrested some Nigerian dude up in there yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon, I just want to let you know something I heard about recently. You're familiar with Botswana, right?
Yes.
Were you aware that they recently unveiled a citizenship program that I think it's for like 120,000 or like 75,000. I'm not sure if it's like in buying real estate or something like that, but they would give you citizenship for that amount.
Yeah, a lot of African countries have that. Kenya's is 200,000 if you invested into their economy by like starting a business. So I have heard about
it's something positive about Africa I wanted to share with you because I know that you're big. I know that you're big on Africa and all that, man. And just wanted to pass that.
That's my place, man. Did you see my debate with Destiny?
I have not. I've been busy. I'm actually trying to get my Class A CDL, but I'll peep that, man. And I hope everything goes well with any other debates that you might have, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Guys, listen, man. Stop acting obtuse. Stop being willfully ignorant. We don't have any evidence that the stuff that they said is taking place over there. They don't even tell you the color of the people, of the kids who are let out of the building. What we know is that Donald Trump, along with ICE, is working to make this country safe. A lot of bad people were let into this country, and they need to be out. Abby Phillip, Van Lathan, all these people, they don't care because they don't live in the communities where you live. They don't live in the communities where these immigrants are being sent. So, of course, they can sit and defend it and pretend like they care. The only person on that panel that I actually would trust, as far as I could throw them, is Scott Jennings. The rest of them are just liars, and they say whatever they're told to say just to create a debate or a conversation. That's it. Thank you for watching this channel. I appreciate every single thing you do for me and this channel. Guys, let's check out the content tomorrow. I'm going to make a few clips of the Destiny content where I debated him. And I'm going to probably post a few on this channel and a few on Instagram. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to the channel. Even if you didn't like it, appreciate the fact that I'm willing to let people come up and challenge my ideas. Like, share, and subscribe. Please do that. Hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Until the next time, do me a favor. Please take care of yourselves. But most importantly, take care of each other.